for a person that's really like trying to do what you doing, like what advice can you give them? Because everybody want to, do it the wrong. Some people doing it the wrong way. Some people ain't really doing it how they supposed to.
That advice depends on if they just want to do credit repair or they want to do it to the magnitude that I'm doing it. Those are two different types of advice that I would give. If you want to do it to the magnitude that I'm doing it, I would say rethink it first, because this is a lot. You don't have to do all of this to make money if you're just trying to make some money. Like, you can get into credit repair, start the business. And I want to say this, people do not mind you selling them as long as you're serving them, like at all.
Okay.
If you're getting the results that you get, people don't mind.
Right.
You doing this in the masses or having crazy numbers. Nobody cares if you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. So anybody could come into the industry and make some money. You have to think of it as a numbers game. Like, even if you're on the lower end or the higher end, to make some money with credit repair part-time or even full-time at a lower scale, 10, 20K a month is really, really good. And that's only 10 to 20 clients.
Right.
You want to get up to 100 and 200, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I have crazy goals. I'm trying to get it to some numbers that people are going to think I'm lying.
Like she lying.
Yeah,
she doing
that is the response that I want people to have.
Right.
Like, when they hear it, when they see it, I want people to flinch a little bit and be like, that girl is lying.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm trying to take it. So if you want to do things like that, I don't recommend it, because it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot out of you. But because it's something I really want to do, I actually enjoy it.
Enjoy. That's good that you enjoy it. I was going to ask, do you really enjoy this process?
I really enjoy it. I'm very competitive, especially with myself.
Okay.
Like, I want to challenge myself to see what I could do.
Yeah.
So, once I hit certain milestones, I don't even get to enjoy them much, because I'm challenging me on the next move.
Okay.
Like, okay, you think you did something?
Right.
Let's see if you can do this.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, I don't think we covered this part, the collection part, like the credit. I don't really know too much about it, because I'm pretty sure it ain't that easy to just move that information off your account, right?
Collections?
Yeah.
Collections are not as hard as people think. When it comes to what's hard versus what isn't, I'll always say this: bankruptcies and child support are the hardest accounts to remove. I remove them with ease, but they are indeed the hardest accounts to remove from a report. Collections and charge-offs aren't really my concern. I get those off very, very quick.
Damn, ain't your concern?
Nah, those are not my concern at all.
I need to go
and
find out
the reason
deal.
why bankruptcies and child supports are even of concern is simply that they're time consuming, because they involve the credit bureaus and the court. So now you're involving another third party that has to stay engaged with the disputes, and to keep everybody on one accord is very difficult. To get the correct documents that you need to get from both parties is extremely difficult. So that becomes time consuming. When you're dealing with the courts, you're on their time. If you ask for a document from them and it takes them about 30 days to get you the document, then hey, so be it. But those are the only types of accounts that I find have a lengthier process. Collections and charge-offs, nah.
Why is the bankruptcy and the child support so hard to move around a little bit?
The bankruptcy and child support is so hard to move around because of the court system. In addition to the court system, bankruptcies go through a extreme process.
Okay.
So you had to do multiple steps to even file the bankruptcy. Once it's filed, it's entered into the public records.
Okay.
You're now trying to remove it so that it's not showing on the credit report anymore. When you have the bankruptcy, you still have it with whatever court it was filed in. However, it's no longer reporting, and that's all you care about.
Okay.
Because nobody's going to the courthouse to check your court records when it comes to funding and credit and things like that. They're checking the credit report. Okay. So as long as we can remove it from the credit report, we're good.
Right. Shit, all them deadbeat daddies out there, make sure y'all watching this, man. No, they out there running from this topic. So I would ask, because I know you said you didn't really have nobody like guide you. Who was someone you looked up to like in this journey you was going through?
In this journey?
Yeah.
I looked up to a lot of people. It depends on what area, because there's so many different areas that I had to go through. I feel like when it comes to personal development, I looked up to certain people. When it comes to actual credit and things like that, I looked up to certain people. When it comes to marketing, I will always say my biggest influence would be Marcus.
I've been hearing that a lot too
Yeah,
about him.
Marcus is my biggest influence.
I heard he going crazy.
I will say the reason why Marcus is my biggest influence is because before I realized that I needed my credit fixed or anything like that, I would always hear about him.
Okay.
So his marketing was impeccable years ago, and then now it's insane. So the things that he knows, he's such a brilliant person. Like he's extremely smart. So I would say he has to have been my biggest influence.
Did you join his class when you first started? It was just
no, that's and a lot of people think that.
Yeah,
and that's actually a good point that you made. Because no, I did not learn credit repair from Marcus. I didn't learn anything credit wise. So by the time I got into connection with Marcus, I'm made already. Damn. As in, I've experienced successful businesses. I've had money. I've had all these things. However, what I wanted to get from him is he's like a machine.
Okay.
The way his businesses are set up, they run with ease. Like the things that he's accomplished is wild. And as far as us, you talking about the black community, anybody that say they in business and don't mention him, that's wild.
It's crazy.
That's wild. You're lying.
Yeah.
If you say he didn't influence you, you're lying. But outside of him, who else influenced me? Bobby influenced me. Okay. Bobby heavy when it comes to credit repair, like things like that. Bobby influenced me super big. Who else influenced me? I'm trying to think. Not a lot of people really influenced me though. I'm not even gonna hold you.
No, ain't no wrong with that. I was just want to see because
it's very few, but the ones who do, like I ain't scared to say their name.
Because like you mentioned, people probably thought that you learned from him being in his class. You telling me you didn't.
A lot of people think that.
Yeah. That's crazy. You already had it going on, so that just shows where you at.
What's crazy is I knew that was who I needed to call when I had shit rolling.
Gotcha. Okay.
My intention was never to go to Marcus not knowing what I was doing. Yeah. I needed to have something because I felt like a lot of people don't understand when you looking for mentorship and you looking for somebody to guide you. If you go to them with nothing, what are they guiding you with?
Okay.
You just shooting your shot wildly wherever. For me, it was like, nah, I got something. Right. I'm making money. I'm doing this wrong. I don't got the right systems in place. My marketing is good, but it's not what it could be if I had the proper guidance. And that was somebody that's making M's and M's on M's on M's on M's.
She says,
heavy
for
out
real
there.
though,
So, yeah, that was my biggest influence, and I knew when I figured it out, that's where I was going for my direction.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
for sure. Getting
that going. Yeah, it's a whole process, and being a woman in this too, though.
Oh yeah, being a woman in this is wild.
Yeah.
It's up and down because some people who don't really respect women or care for women in certain spaces, you deal with that. And then other people who look at you different, they trying to see if they could get next to you, if they could talk to you, you know what I mean? Right. But I've done well because I block all that out.
All right, which is the right way too.
Yeah, ain't no infiltrating this over here.